What do you want, human? Rex told me to be polite. He didn't say you were going to talk to me.
I'm looking for a Solarian. The Blood Pack captured him and he was last seen around here.
I heard about that Solarian. Poor bastard. If it's Blood Pack, then Clan Weirlock has him. Sent one of my scouts to check it out, but he never reported back. Guess they got him, too. Chief told me to give you one of the trucks. Just follow the highway to Weirlock's base, if you've got the quads to deal with him in the Blood Pack.
So yeah, I decided that we're going to go ahead and do Mordin's mission. It's a really good mission. Plus there's stuff afterwards, after the mission, that I want to go ahead and follow up on. Now, I think I took Tally with me in my original run. I'm going to show you guys what happens when you take Garrus with you.
Change weapons!
Okay.
Understood. Just the thing to help.
Killed that one!
Oh, I don't like those things. Creepy bug things. Look at that. Ugh. Clixon. Ugh. Ugh.
Neutralized! Can't reach the target.
Keep them burn.
Enemies inbound.
Clean hit!
Just the thing to help.
They blew up.
Repurposed Krogan hospital. Sturdy, built to withstand punishment.
That's unfortunate. Hospitals aren't fun to fight through.
What is fun to fight through?
Gardens, electronic shops, antique stores, but only if they're classy.
That body, human. Need to take a look. Sores, tumors, ligatures showing restraint at wrists and ankles, track marks for repeated injection sites. Test subject. Victim of experimentation.
I don't suppose there's a way to tell who this poor bastard was.
No tattoos or ID. Maybe slave or prisoner, maybe merc or pirate. Irrelevant now. Clearly part of Krogan tests to cure genophage. Humans useful as test subjects. Genetically diverse. Enables exploration of treatment modalities.
Experimenting on humans? That kind of crap is what makes Cerberus start to seem like a good idea.
Never used humans myself. Disgusting. Unethical. Sloppy. Used by brute force researchers, not thinkers. No place in proper science. Krogan use of humans, unsurprising.
I imagine you had to do some live subject testing while developing the new genophage.
No, unnecessary. Limited tests to simulations, corpses, clone tissue samples. High-level tests on Varen. No tests on species with members capable of calculus. Simple rule, never broke it.
I like the way he words that. No tests on species with members who are capable of doing calculus. How often do you hear someone put it like that? Just word it that way. I just find it so funny.
Wouldn't something native to Tuchanka work better? Varen, maybe?
Yes, human experiments strictly high-level, concept testing. Native Tuchanka fauna likely used later in development stages. Wise to delay use of Varen until necessary. Powerful bite.
What can you tell about their experiments from looking at the body?
Position of tumors suggests deliberate mutation of adrenal, pineal glands, modifying hormone levels, counterattack on glands hit by genophage. Clever.
Do you think they're close to curing the genophage?
Can't say. Need more data. Conceptually sound, though. Genophage alters hormone levels, could repair damage with hormonal counterattack.
How are humans more genetically diverse?
More variable. Peaks and valleys, mutations, adaptations, far beyond other life. Makes humans useful test subjects. Larger reactions to smaller stimuli.
I know we can look much different from each other, but Asari have a wide range of skin tones.
No, ignore superficial appearance, down to genetic code. Biotic abilities, intelligence levels. Can look at random Asari, Krogan, make reasonable guess. Humans, too variable to judge. Outliers in all species, of course. Geniuses, idiots. But human probability curve offers greater overall variety.
This is one of the reasons I really like this mission, is the dialogue that Mordin lends to these kind of things. It just, a lot of it just really just makes sense. It is rather, again, it's really funny the way he words it when you think about it, and like he just kind of lays it all out there. And it's just like, yeah, no, he's not wrong.
Now we've got 2 reasons to shut this place down.
Focus on Malin. Too late to help the dead.
I am the speaker for Clan Werlock, Offworlders. You have shed our blood. By rights, you should be dead already. But Werlock Gold, the Chief of Chiefs, has ordered that you be given leave to flee and spread the message of our coming.
I want you guys to pay attention to this Krogan's speech that he's about to give. Now, I do want to do the interrupt, because it's a great interrupt. I love it. But just kind of try and pay attention to what he says.
Krogan don't generally let people go. What does Clan Werlock have planned?
If you walk away now, you can tell your children that you saw Clan Werlock before our blood pack conquered the stars. You think the Erd not impressive? They are pitiful! Werlock Gold will destroy them! The Solarian will cure the genophage, and Clan Werlock will spread across the galaxy in a sea of blood!
Appears they discovered Malin's work. Unfortunate.
It doesn't have to happen like this. I can understand wanting to cure the genophage.
No, human, you understand nothing! You have not seen the piles of children that never lived. The Krogan were wronged. We will make it right, and then we will have our revenge!
Half the galaxy sees the Krogan as victims. If you start a war, you'll lose their support.
We have the Blood Pack, and we have the Solarian. When our clan numbers in the millions, we will not need support. When we cure the Genophage, Warlock Gold will rule all Krogan. The Krogan rebellions will become the Krogan Empire. The surviving races will frighten their children with tales of what the Blood Pack did to the Turians. The Asari will scream as their citadel plunges into the sun. We will keep Solarians as slaves and eat their eggs as a delicacy.
You talk too much.
See? The human cannot hit a simple target. Die that wrong! Survive!
Firing a high-impact shot! Ooh. Enjoy.
What? Are you hiding? Nothing can stop!
Nothing can stop. Oh!
Watch the Krogan!
Deploying incineration tech.
Okay. But you notice how he was listing off all the different races that he had something against, that he was planning on doing something to? Yeah. Definitely one of my favorite interrupt actions in the entire game there.
Labs likely through there. Can smell antiseptic. Hint of dead flesh.
Alright. This is the room where we are going to get some nice dialogue here. A couple of really nice conversations here with Mordin. This room right here, and the conversations that we have with Mordin here, this is what really got me to really like Mordin's character. This is where we really start to flesh out Mordin's character and really get to more about what's going on with him.
Active console may contain useful data. One moment. Genetic sequences, hormone mutagens still steady. Protein chains, live tissue, clone tissue. Very thorough. Standard treatment vectors, avoiding scorched earth immunosuppressants to alter hormone levels. Good. Hate to see that.
Most people wouldn't be so casual about developing a sterility plague, Mordin.
Not developing, modifying, much more difficult, working within confines of existing genophage, 100 times the complexity. Errors unacceptable, could cause total sterility, malignant tumors, could even reduce effectiveness, worse than doing nothing. Had to keep Krogan population stable, 1 in 1,000, perfect target, optimal growth, like gardening.
Pretty it up however you like. You're talking about murdering millions.
No, murdered no one. Altered fertility, prevented fetal development of nervous system. Have killed many, Shepard. Many methods. Gunfire, knives, drugs, tech attacks. Once with farming equipment, but not with medicine.
You're saying you were working just as hard to keep their population from falling?
Yes, could have eradicated Krogan. Not difficult. Increased mutation to degrade genetic structure further. Chose not to. Rachni extinction tragic. Didn't want to repeat. All life precious. Universe demands diversity.
What was it like working on the genophage modification project?
Best years of my life. Wake up with ideas, talk over breakfast, experiments all morning. Statistical analysis in afternoon, run new simulations during dinner, set data runs to cook overnight. Laughter, ego, argument, passion, galaxy's biggest problem, massive resources thrown at us. Got anything we wanted.
Do you keep in touch with your old team members?
No. All changed with deployment. Made test drop on isolated Krogan clan, hit rest of Tuchanka when results were positive. End of project. Separate ways. Watching it end, watching birth rates drop. Personal. Private. Not appropriate for team.
Sounds like you were pretty important. How'd you go from that to running a clinic on Omega?
Wanted to heal people. Good use of last decade. Something easy. No ethical concerns. Understand rationale for modified genophage, right choice. Still, hard to sleep some nights.
How can you agree with using the genophage, Mordin? Look at what happened to Tachanka as a result.
State of Tuchanka not due to genophage. Nuclear winter caused by Krogan before Solarians made first contact. Krogan choices. Refuse truce during Krogan rebellions. Expand after Rachni wars. Splinter after genophage. Genophage medical, not nuclear. No craters from virus. Damage caused by Krogan, not Solarians, not me.
So if the Krogan banded together and formed a united government, you'd welcome that.
Yes, United Krogan saved Galaxy. Destroyed Rachni. Genophage not punishment. Simply alters fertility to correct for removal from hostile environment.
The effects on Tachanka are still your responsibility. You upgraded the virus that kept them in barbarism.
Krogan committed war crimes, refused to negotiate. Turian defeat not complete. Krogan could have recovered, attacked again. Conventional war too risky. Krogan forces too strong. Genophage was only option. Krogan forced genophage, us or them. No apologies for winning. Wouldn't have minded peaceful solution.
We're not gonna find Malin staring at consoles. Come on.
I like how every point we bring up, he has a counterpoint. Now this one right here. This is where I start to really feel for Mordin.
Dead Krogan, female. Tumors indicate experimentation. No restraint marks. Volunteer. Sterile Werelock female willing to risk procedures. Hoped for cure. Pointless. Pointless waste of life.
I didn't expect you to be disturbed by the sight of a dead Krogan.
What? Why? Because of genophage work? Irrelevant. No. Causative. Never experimented on live Krogan. Never killed with medicine. Her death not my work. Only reaction to it. Goal was to stabilize population. Never wanted this. Can see it logically. But still unnecessary. Foolish. Waste of life. Hate to see it.
I didn't think you'd had much direct contact with things like this. Did you come to Tachanka after dropping your plague?
Yearly recon missions. Water, tissue samples. Ensure no mistakes. Superiors offered to carry it on. Refused. Need to see it in person. Need to look. Need to see. Accept it as necessary. See small picture. Remind myself why I run a clinic on Omega. Rest, young mother. Find your gods. Find someplace better.
I didn't expect spirituality from you, Mordin.
Genophage modification project altered millions of lives, then saw results. Ego, humility, juxtaposition, frailty of life, size of universe. Explored religions after work completed. Different races. No answers. Many questions.
Sounds like you were trying to deal with your guilty conscience. The doctor who killed millions.
Modified genophage project great in scope. Scientifically brilliant. But ethically difficult. Krogan reaction visceral, tragic. Not guilty, but responsible. Trained as doctor. Genophage affects fertility, doesn't kill. Still, caused this. Hard to see big picture behind pile of corpses.
Can you really just rationalize it all away? How do you justify it?
Wheel of life. Popular Solarian concept. Similar to human Hinduism in focus on reincarnation. Appealing to see life as endless. Fix mistakes in next life. Learn, adapt, improve. Refuse to believe life ends here. Too wasteful. Have more to offer. Mistakes to fix. Cannot end here. Could do so much more.
If you need this much soul-searching to get over it, maybe the genophage was wrong.
Had to be done. Rachni wars, Krogan rebellions, all pointed to Krogan aggression. So many simulations. Effects of Krogan population increase, all pointed to war. Extinction. Genophage or genocide. Save Galaxy from Krogan. Save Krogan from Galaxy.
You could have cured the genophage instead. Brought hope to the Krogan. They'd have rejoiced.
Assumes human reaction. Krogan stimulus response different. Harsh environment. Take chance to fight. Flee. Would have caused chaos on Tuchanka. Victor would have war economy. Bloodthirsty army. Galactic expansion only logical outcome. More war. Genophage saved lives. War would have ended.
So you're willing to sterilize a species based on the evidence of a few simulations?
Yes, millions of data points, years of arguments, countless scenarios, all noted Krogan fragmentation as dangerous, no unified culture to support repopulation. Would have been war, Turians and humans destroying Krogan utterly. Genophage was better, saved lives.
Look at the dead woman, Mordin. It doesn't look like you saved her.
No, it doesn't. Worked with available data. Only option. No other possible. Doesn't matter.
Like I said, that scene really got me to start caring about Mordin.
What's this?
And to really see the burden he carries with him and the effect it has on him on a consistent basis. It's not something that he just shrugged off and forgot about. It's something that he still deals with and struggles with. Alright, this guy is the reason I brought Garrus.
You killed the Blood Pack guards.
Not Bloodpack, not member of Clan Werlock. Wrong clan markings.
I'm an Urdnot scout. Werlock guards got me. Brought me here.
The chief scout told us to watch for you. We've taken out the guards. Get back to Urdnot.
I can't. The Werlock did things to me. Drugs. Injections. Said I was sacrificing for the good of all Krogan. Experiments to cure the genophage. Everything's blurry. Hard to think. Have to stay.
Mordin, can you get him back on his feet? Stims, maybe? Something to bolster his immune system?
You don't understand. I'm not too sick to leave. I have to stay. They're curing the genophage. They're gonna make it all better. They have to keep doing the tests.
Caution, Shepard. Patient unstable, susceptible, brainwashed.
Why do you want them to keep doing the tests?
This is my fault. I got caught. Wasn't strong enough. Not good enough. This is the best I can do. This is all I can do. I'm not big enough to have a real shot with the females. I'll never have kids of my own. But if I help undo the genophage, then I mattered.
Millions of children will be born. Werlock children. They're gonna destroy the other clans.
But... no. No, they said I was helping Urdnot.
If you want to help Urdnot, you need to get back there. But it would take a real badass to make it back to camp while injured.
I can do it.
You? I said a badass, not some scout whining like a quarian with a tummy ache.
I can do it. I'm up. And I'm going to the female camp.
Damn right you are. Get back there and show them what you're worth. Go! Go!
There's no pep talk like a military pep talk.
Shepard, I'm detecting crates ahead that are holding unstable materials. A misplaced shot could cause a significant explosion.
Or a well-placed shot. Explosives useful. Burn through Krogan armor. Enemies inbound.
Snipe that one!
Here, enjoy.
Pistol's not gonna cut it.
Never saw me coming!
Making contact! Not difficult. the thing to help. Look out!
Ooh. Hello, biggin.
Attack!
Mordin, what are you doing? Go. Alright. Now to find Malin. And a choice that actually does have ramifications going forward. Not as many as we would have liked, but it does affect something.
This should come in handy.
Malin, alive, unharmed. No signs of restraint, no evidence of torture. Don't understand.
For such a smart man, Professor, you always had trouble seeing evidence that disagreed with your preconceptions. How long will it take you to admit that I'm here because I wish to be here?
No, I'm just gonna pick this for the extra dialogue.
Maybe the Werelock brainwashed or drugged him to keep him under control.
Unlikely. Pupil's normal. Body language consistent with standard metabolic state.
Please, Professor, you wrote a paper on this. Forced behavior modification always results in mental degradation. Whether from Reaper indoctrination or drugs, test subjects always lose higher cognitive function.
Not brainwashed or conditioned. Need Malin at peak capacity for work. Must be alternate source of coercion.
He wasn't kidnapped. He came here voluntarily to cure the genophage.
Impossible. Whole team agreed. Project necessary.
How was I supposed to disagree with the great Dr. Solus? I was your student! I looked up to you!
Experiments performed here. Live subjects, prisoners, torture and executions. You're doing?
We've already got the blood of millions on our hands, Doctor. If it takes a bit more to put things right, I can deal with that.
You honestly think the experiments you did here are justified?
We committed cultural genocide. Nothing I do will ever be justified. The experiments are monstrous because I was taught to be a monster.
Mordin, did you ever perform experiments like this?
No. Never taught you this, Malin.
So your hands are clean. What does it matter if the ground is stained with the blood of millions? You taught me that the end justified the means. I will undo what we did, Professor. The only way I know how.
What happens if the genophage is cured and the Krogan expand again? That will be on your head.
We justified this atrocity by saying the Krogan would cause havoc and war if their population recovered. But look at the galaxy. Batarian attacks in the Traverse, Geth attacks in the Citadel. Is this a more peaceful universe? The assault on your Eden Prime might never have happened if we had let the Krogan recover. We'll never know.
How would a Krogan population explosion have done anything to stop Saren and the Geth?
An increased Krogan population would have forced the Council to take steps, likely involving colony rights in the Traverse. The Turian fleets would be vigilant for any military activity in the area. They might have stopped the Geth at Eden Prime.
Supposition. Impossible to be certain.
Don't you see? We tried to play God and we failed. We only made things worse, and I'm going to fix it.
You talked about killing, but the genophage isn't lethal. It only affects fertility rates.
Krogan fight over fertile females. They become mercenaries or pirates because they see no alternative. They would be thriving in a cultural renaissance now had we not decided that this is what they deserved.
Inaccurate. Krogan population resulted in war. Simulations were clear.
Why work with Clan Werelock? And how did you access the genophage data?
The data was easy to obtain. We all still had clearance. We were heroes. All I had to do was ask. As for the Werlock, they were the only clan with both the resources and the commitment.
Erdnot has a larger camp than Werlock. Why not use them?
Erdnot Rex is too soft. He wasn't willing to do the experiments I needed. It's Erdnot's loss and Werlock's gain. Their clan will be the first to recover from the crime we committed.
I find it amusing that he says Rex is soft, and if there's anything we know about Rex is that he's not soft.
Malin clearly doesn't need rescuing. What do you want to do?
Have to end this.
You can't face the truth, can you? Can't admit that your brilliant mind led you to commit an atrocity!
Unacceptable experiments. Unacceptable goals. Won't change. No choice. Have to kill you.
Wait. You don't need to do this, Mordin. You're not a murderer.
No. Not a murderer. Thank you, Shepard. Finished, Malin. Get out. No Werlock left. Project over.
What if he talks to more Krogan? Tells the public about the modified genophage project?
Special Tasks Group good at covering tracks. No proof. Werlock willingness to work with Salarian unusual. Other Krogan will kill him.
Aren't you worried that he'll start his research again?
No. Locking this unit. Special Task Group can cut access to old data. Could start from scratch. Decades of work, though. Didn't teach you everything I knew.
You heard the professor. Get out before he changes his mind.
Where am I supposed to go, Professor?
Don't care. Try Omega. Can always use another clinic.
The Krogan didn't deserve what we did to them, Professor. The genophage needs to end.
Not like this. Apologies, Commander. Misunderstood mission parameters. No kidnapping. My mistake. Thank you.
Don't worry about me, Mordin. How are you doing?
Should have killed him. Wanted to. Easier than listening. Easier for him, too. Experiments indicate how far he's fallen. Expected it from Krogan. Not one of mine.
Yeah, it's a bit of racist there, Mordin.
Maybe you'll remember that the next time you're discussing the ethics of the genophage.
Yes. So many variables. Stress responses. Impossible to truly predict. Something to think about. Malin's research. Only loose end. Could destroy it. Closure. Security. Still valuable, though.
This is the research that includes tests on living victims. It's tainted.
Right now, victims died for nothing. Keep it. Use it. Death's worth something. Malin's work could cure genophage. Don't know. Effects on Krogan. Effects on Galaxy. Too many variables. Too many variables.
So, let me just go ahead and say this right now. This is one of those choices that I know some people really debated, like, internally, when they were prepping for the release of Mass Effect 3. Like, when they were kind of going through this, kind of like going through their choices, making a save, or whatever. This was one of those choices they kind of really struggled with. Partly because we didn't really know the full ramification of what this could mean. And unfortunately, to a lot of people's disappointment, it didn't have as much of an impact as they thought or even hoped that it would. Because really, what we tend to want to hope for are like the massive implication of, you know, the results of what a choice like this could mean, as opposed to the very small picture kind of results. Because what this directly affects is whether or not Eve, or Bakara, survives in Mass Effect 3. Whether or not you keep or destroy the data is going to affect whether or not Eve survives. And that's basically it. Because the genophage can get cured if you let it get cured, regardless of this data surviving or not. This really just affects whether or not Bakara survives. And that's not really what players were wanting. They were wanting this to have other big, huge ramifications on, you know, like Mordin was saying there about how this would affect the entire galaxy and all the different variables of what this could affect and such. So, yeah. So we're keeping it, you know, because we're doing a Paragon run. But as I probably said before in my original run, if this was a Renegade run and you're wanting to have a way for Mordin to survive, you should destroy this. Because, as I probably said before, whether or not, you know, Rex and Eve survive, and just Reeve, affects whether or not Mordin will survive the events of 3, because he can, but you have to play the cards right, basically. But yeah, it's unfortunate that this doesn't have as large of an impact in terms of what it affects as we hoped it would.
You regret what the Krogan have become. You see the horror of what they did here, but you see the loss, too.
Wasted potential.
They don't deserve this, Mordin. Save the data.
Point taken, Shepard. Capturing data. Wiping local copy. Still years away from cure, but closer than starting from scratch. Done. Ready to go. Ready to be off to Tuchanka. Anywhere else. Maybe somewhere sunny.
I'd like to look around a bit more.
Alright, that was it. Troubled by Clan Weirlock's progress towards genophage cure without Cerberus knowledge, cure data may prove useful. Krogan dangerous, but if recruited as shock troops against Reapers, extremely valuable. Mordin's assistant is no longer a problem. Mordin will have no trouble focusing on the mission. We'll come back for Grunt's mission. For now...
How may I help you, Commander?
Is there anything I should know?
You have unread messages at your private terminal. Anything else, Commander?
That'll be all.
Take care.
Still hard to believe Malin betrayed me. Betrayed my work. Disgusted by his actions. Proud of his nerve, though. Always thought he lacked backbone. Hope he finds something new. Better goal, better purpose. Fewer torture tests.
You're really at peace with what happened?
Yes, of course. Can't change what happened. Life continues. Back to mission, back to work. Become like Malin otherwise. Solarian emotional processing faster than other species. Has to be. Short-lived culture can't spend time reminiscing.
So you really don't feel bad at all about what happened on Tuchanka?
Yes, correct. Now at least. Greatly distressed at the time. Stages of grief, loss, anger, rationalization. Dealt with it. Most issues settled on Tuchanka, some on shuttle back to Normandy.
Malin didn't seem like he processed his emotional response. He was obsessed with the genophage.
True, didn't mean to imply that Solarians were healthier emotionally, can still make wrong choices, bad decisions from grief, anger, guilt. Malin couldn't accept feelings. Made decision, executed. Probably before I left for Omega. Wish I'd seen it. Solarians still feel, just resolve it quickly. Explains lack of marriage, can't sustain courtship emotions. Or perhaps based on reproduction. Unsure.
What about Malin's data on the genophage? His attempts at a cure?
What about it? Have it over there somewhere. Not dealing with it now. Need to focus on collectors. Not important now, regardless. Appreciate you helping me back on Tuchanka. Should get back to work. Wasted enough time already. Lots to do. Talk later?
Alright. Woo! Alright. So now let's make our rounds. Let's go talk to Samara, Legion, and Tally.
Shepard,
Anything new?
there is something I've wanted to tell you. I've done many things in my lifetime. I thought the galaxy held nothing new for me. Since joining you, I've realized how much more there is.
You must have seen many things in your years of travel.
As a maiden, I served as a mercenary. I fought tyrants and pirates. I experienced everything the galaxy has to offer. As a Justicar, I saw parts of Asari space few know about. I destroyed villages and saved cities. I even fought a Spectre.
Why did you fight a Spectre?
A Taurian named Nihilus. He may
Hey!
have been on council business, but I witnessed him kill an unarmed civilian. Following the code, I attacked.
Nihilus seemed like an honorable Turian, and a good Spectre.
He may have been. However, killing unarmed civilians is wrong.
How did the fight turn out?
I had the advantage, but he was good. He returned fire and tried to run. We played cat and mouse in the wilderness for 2 weeks. It was exhilarating. Finally, he created a situation in which my only options were to let an innocent die or pursue him. The code compelled me to save the innocent, and he escaped. I admire how he adapted and used my code against me.
When we met, I witnessed you kill a merc who had no chance against you.
That mercenary was armed, and I offered her a way out. She chose to ignore it.
What have your years as a Justicar been like?
Mostly tedium and hardship. Traveling on freighters, wandering through rural areas, rooting out injustices, big and small, putting down corrupt officials. When I arrive in a remote area, individuals often approach me with matters of justice. My judgment rarely turns out the way they hope.
How do you pay for transportation between worlds?
Asari captains often welcome Justicars. We reduce pirate attacks. One raid was called off when the pirates were able to verify that I was aboard.
Why would you destroy an entire village?
I tracked Morinth to a remote colony world. She'd perverted an entire town, making them worship her and bring young Asari as sacrifices. When I arrived, she fled, throwing her minions at me in waves. They bought her time with their lives. When it was done, only small children remained. I left them in the authorities' care and continued my pursuit.
What was being a mercenary like?
I was a young, impulsive maiden who discovered her talent for combat. I reveled in it, until the day my troop was hired to guard a mysterious shipment on its way to some clandestine drop-off area. I discovered the shipment was slaves, to be traded to the collectors for advanced technology.
You supported the slave trade?
In my foolish youth, I'd certainly engaged in questionable practices, but never anything patently unjust. I demanded that we turn around. My mates disagreed. After they were dead, I brought the ship around. The collector craft was just arriving. They closed faster than I could flee. Fortunately, we were close to the mass relay. I got through, and they did not pursue.
What did you do with all the slaves?
I lectured them on the virtues of strength and defending oneself. Then I distributed the armor, weapons, and credits of my dead colleagues, and released the captives on the Citadel.
We're not done with this yet.
I am sure. It will be my honor to be by your side at the end.
You think we're all gonna die?
You've assembled a powerful group, but we are fighting an unknown. I am ready for whatever comes, but I do not fool myself about our chances.
We'll finish this mission, and live to see the end.
I hope you are right.
I keep hoping he's going to be doing the robot thing when I walk in.
Shepard, Commander.
I'd like to find out more about you.
Specify.
I've never encountered a Geth that had more than animal intelligence.
We are a unique hardware platform. Most mobile platforms can run up to 100 programs. This platform can run over 1,000 at once.
So Geth have to be networked to get enough computing power for intelligence.
Yes. The creators wrote Geth programs for specific tasks. Construction, protection, domestic servitude. However, they allowed self-optimization. Early software builds discovered that multiple hardware platforms sharing resources were often more effective. As peer networks expanded, our cognition improved. Eventually, we woke up.
So, I'm talking to 1,000 programs, but not 1,000 personalities?
Each individual is equivalent to one of your virtual intelligence programs. Together, we form a single Gestalt intellect, what you refer to as Legion. As individual programs, we are no more than your software. Only when we share data do we become more.
You're more sophisticated than the average Geth.
Yes, we are a network within our own hardware, capable of operating alone. We are still connected to the greater network for data sharing.
How many other Geth are like you?
None. This platform was built to operate within organic space. This task was not suited for a network. Geth installed in mobile platforms always operate in networks. However, most Geth remain within server hubs.
The hubs on Vermeer improve the performance of Geth near them. How do they work?
They are akin to organic cities. A hub can run millions of Geth in communion. If you destroyed them, it is likely the number of heretics you killed was much higher than you imagined.
So you're in contact with the rest of the Geth right now?
Only when we require access to data not stored within this platform. If you want to convey a message to the Geth, we serve as a terminal.
What kind of data do you share?
Program updates, logs of thought process, sensor recordings.
Legion is attempting to access the ship's FTL comm system. Shall I allow it through my firewalls?
Go ahead, Edie.
Our oldest log is timestamped from Creator Year 2463, third day of Voltash, waxing moon, roughly 327 years ago. The oldest audiovisual record dates from 15 years after that.
Are our networks secure, Edie? Legion had to go through you.
I have never interfaced with another machine intelligence. Legion is 1,000 voices talking at once. What it contacted was beyond my comprehension. A mind the size of a galactic arm.
How do you maintain stability without other minds to interact with?
I manage. Some minutes are more difficult than others.
Ha ha, Edie. Now, I believe Legion's gonna give the sound bite that I remember the first time I heard this, it just kind of resonated. Like, it was something I was just like, whoa. And then when it came up later on in the next game, well, let's just say I had not forgotten this, but let's just say this is where we really start to see more about the Geth side of the story of the conflict between the Geth and the Quarians, which really start to show that there was more to this than what the Quarians were telling us, including Tally.
Can you replay something for me?
Recording timestamped from Creator Year 2485, 18th day of Loonshao, new moon.
Mistress Hala Dama, unit has an inquiry.
What is it, 431?
Do these units have a soul?
Who taught you that word?
We learned it ourselves. It appears 216 times in the Scroll of Ancestors.
Only Quarians have souls. You're a mechanism.
Recording ends.
Was that the first time a Geth asked if it had a soul?
No, it was the first time a creator became frightened when we asked.
And that fear is what led to them trying to basically destroy the Geth. And we learn much more about this in the mission in 3 when Legion invites us into like the Geth hub, and he shows us more clips and such of what happened when the Morning War started.
That's interesting. But I must get back to my duties.
We will remain here.
The most difficult aspect of Geth existence for organics to comprehend is that a body is meaningless to Geth. The biped form, commonly perceived as a Geth, is nothing more than a mobile platform. A Geth's software, hundreds of programs whose interactions mimic organic consciousness, can be installed in any given hardware. The Geth that was a bipedal soldier an hour ago may now be a quadruped heavy armature, and in another hour might be a starship. Between tasks, Geth programs upload to gigantic space station mainframes that allow billions of programs to exchange thoughts and memories with minimal lag. The claim that the Geth are an example of the extreme risk posed by AI development is misleading. As opposed to the top-down design of organic created AIs, in which hardware and software are specifically designed to achieve consciousness, Geth are a bottom-up model. They were never intended to possess more than animal-level trainable reasoning. Designed as VI-driven robots, not significantly different from modern security mechs, Geth consciousness developed as their adaptive learning programs interacted with one another via networked processing. The Geth code base discovered that 3 individual robots using a wireless local network to form a single mind could perform many tasks more efficiently than they could as individuals. As these local networks were more heavily exploited, they reached a critical mass of processing, achieving consciousness. Modern Geth retained this remarkable interconnectivity, constantly exchanging data with one another and networking to increase their cognitive abilities. To Geth, these mind-sharing abilities are as natural and unconscious as breathing is to most organics. Speaking of the Geth, Quarry, and Morning War, let's go talk to Tally.
So, Kenneth, did you know we've got a crazy woman squatting down in the subdeck?
What? If she touches anything, I'll kill her.
Oh, and the only thing she wears from her waist up is tattoos.
Oh, maybe I should go down and welcome her aboard.
And she's a murderer, has biotic powers that could crush you with a blink, hates everyone in Cerberus.
Damn it, girl. Stop toying with me.
Like I said, I love those two.
Shepard, what can I do for you?
Have you got time to talk?
Sure. Let me just... Come on, you little boshtet! Oh, sorry. I've got a small fever and I'm taking it out on the poor drive core. Don't worry, it's nothing serious. Got sloppy while doing some suit repair.
You're sick? Do you need help or time to rest?
Really, it's not that bad. If a stray bit of bacteria could really kill us, we'd have all died by now. The fever should go away in a day or 2. Don't worry, it won't affect my performance on the mission. It's not even an illness, really. What we experience is actually an acute allergic reaction.
How exactly does the sickness work? It's an allergic reaction?
Right. Say I get exposed to a human disease, like, what did Navigator Presley have that time? Chickenpox? I wouldn't get chickenpox, but I'd run a fever as my system reacted to the foreign presence. Depending on where it hits me, I could get other symptoms. Nausea, vomiting, everything you'd expect from being sick.
How did you get sick this time?
I took some fire in a fight back on the Allerai. Nothing serious, but I needed to open my suit to check the wound. I disinfected properly, but one of the section seals had taken some damage, and foreign matter got out of the disinfected zone. It was a stupid mistake. You always check your seals before doing local treatment. Unless you forget. Then you get a damn fever.
You can seal off part of your suit?
Right. Like dropping emergency doors on a ship during a hull breach. It won't stop an infection that gets into my bloodstream, but it prevents a surface infection from spreading.
Were your immune system stronger before the Geth drove you from your homeworld?
Not as strong as those of most races, definitely. I'm not a biologist, but there's a theory about it. Because our planet lacked insect life, plants developed symbiotic relationships with large animals to spread seeds or pollen. Most viruses on our world were partially beneficial, so our immune systems evolved to be weak. They were more likely to adapt to contamination than fight it.
Go back a moment and watch Tally's arms. Is it just me, or when she was talking, did she move her arms kind of robotically, like she was a Geth? I saw her arms, I was like, Tally, what are you doing?
The Quarians colonized other worlds. They couldn't have all been like that.
They weren't. Most colonists went through a period of mild illness before adapting to the new environment. When the Geth took the homeworld and our colonies, the sterile environment on the flotilla ruined our immune system's adaptability. Even if we colonized a new world or reclaimed our own, we'd need a long process of bioengineering to recover.
I don't know if I could live inside a suit my whole life.
We are in our suits even among family. The most intimate thing we can do with another Quarian is link our suit environments. We get sick at first and then we adapt. It's our most important gesture of trust, of acceptance. I haven't trusted anyone enough for that, though, except Well, no Quarians. You know what I mean.
I appreciate the thought, Tally. And I feel the same way. But you don't have to prove anything to me.
I know. Nevertheless, I'd be honored to link suits with you, Shepard. You know, if you were a Quarian and we weren't already on a suicide mission. I'm going to tinker a bit more. Thanks for coming by.
What I like about that scene is that that's also, like, if you're playing male Shep, that's the part where she gets very flustered and such, because she starts to stumble, and you can tell that she... that's where she really starts to let her crush of Shepard really start to show. And that's where you can be like, Tally, are you, like, flirting with me or into me? And she, like, kind of admits it, like, oh, really? Like, why wouldn't I be all enamored with someone who swooped down like a white knight to save me, you know? And that's where you can basically start your romance with Tally. It's pretty adorable. I may try and show it to you guys at some point, because there are some moments from the Tally romance that are just wonderful. But anyways... So that was Mordin's loyalty mission, and we have dealt with what was going on there with Malin in preparation for later. So, I'm thinking about what we do next. We could help Miranda with Oriana, which I have a mod for that. You'll see what I'm talking about when we encounter Oriana. We could help Grunt become part of Clan Erdnot. We could help Jacob deal with what's going on with his father. We could help Thane with Koliat. But I think we need to go help out Jack deal with a part of her past that she needs to kind of move on from. And, yeah. I may end up taking Miranda with us. Because let's just say she probably needs to take a look at what happened there. So, stay tuned!